Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're gonna run the Boss ME-80 pedal board into our Hughes Kettner Spirit of Vintage. Now, if you want to find out more about this amp on my channel, just look it up. Also, Spirit of Rock and Spirit of Metal. I've gone through all of them, and I like the Spirit of Vintage the most because, you know, as far as clean tones go, it's really nice and clean. So, not all amps like pedal boards, not all amps like pedals. Some amps just like almost throw up in themselves. It's like, you know? But the majority of amps out there, tube or solid state, are perfectly fine. Now, these kind of amps have kind of like a tube sound, but they're still solid state amps. So, and going through different cabs is going to give you different power levels on these amps because they can run from a 4 ohm to a 16 ohm cab or independent speaker. So I've got a 4 ohm trainer cab on this, 12 inch. So that gives me about 48, 49 watts. At 8 ohms, which is nominal for this amp, is 25 watts. And of course at 16 is about half of that again. And not too many people, I don't think, use 16 ohm cabs nowadays because you have to have so much to run them, where 8 and 4 ohm is the most common. Anyways, so natural sound of the amp with nothing on the board turned on. Now I have my master at about 10 o'clock, sagging at around 2:30, tones out about 11, gain is about basically 10 o'clock. So you want to make sure your amp is set up nice and clean sounding first. Even though that doesn't sound like a lot, when you hook in a pedal board you get preamps available to you and EQs and all that other jibber jabber stuff, and you also get the ability to push that signal a little harder. So when you can push a little harder you can get a lot more output. So just in turning on just the preamp alone, that's a big difference. So now if I turn on the EQ, because that's the effect I've chosen for this area, it does other effects as well. And I just have the, on both the preamp and the EQ, everything's at 12 o'clock except the EQ. I got the bass turned up just a little bit. Preamp is on the clean channel, and we do actually have different things built in, like the tweed. We have crunch. We have combo. We have a lead. We have drive. We have a stack. And of course we do have we also have an acoustic preamp in here, so if you want to plug in your acoustic guitar and use things like delay, chorus, reverb, all that jazz, no problem. But it's not going to make your electric guitar sound like an acoustic. For that you need the acoustic effect. And you should actually be on the clean channel for that. Alright, so one of my favorite effects on this board is actually the metal distortion, and I like to add some reverb. I want my preamp on clean, I want my EQ on because I want that little bit of extra bass. also want some delay. We can add in all kinds of other fun effects as well. Tube Screamer is another one that I like. Probably not so much delay with it though. A little bit of reverb. So, hopefully that answers your questions whether or not this amp will take a pedal board or not. I say it does, and it does a really nice job. And it can get pretty obnoxious in here. And I'm barely using any power out of the amp itself. So there is a nice little bonus to the pedal board with having that preamp in there as well as the EQ side. So you can really get things growled right up, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's push this a little harder. Master is at 3 o'clock now.